Reese, guys, thank you very much. We are here at Rupp Arena, where Big Blue Nation is out in huge numbers, as always, as the Gators take on the Wildcats. Welcome to the Infinity College Basketball Tip-Off, and welcome to a tremendously important game in SEC country. Number 3, Florida. Number 14, Kentucky, in front of about 24,000 people here at Rupp in Lexington. Why does this game mean so much? Because Kentucky's the only team with a realistic chance of catching the Florida Gators in the SEC. But to do that, they got to beat them tonight. They'll play again to close the regular season down in Gainesville in a few weeks' time. Hi, everybody. Dan Shulman, Dick Vitale. Listen to this place. The passion unmistakable here in Lexington, Kentucky. What are you looking for tonight?
Well, Dan, something's got to give. Think about it. Kentucky's won 22 in a row here at Rupp Arena. 81-2 on the John Calipari. You look at Florida, they come in winning 16 in a row, but they have not won here since 2007. So this is a big, big game. I think it's even a bigger game for Kentucky. They need that elite win. They need that big, big W. Ashley's in the house. I got a picture with her. I got a kiss from her.
Calm down. We got a ball game to do. Let's take a look at the one-on-one, and we start with a tough as nails senior point guard for the Florida Gators.
Well, you talk about Florida, they do with their great defense. He also can make plays offensively. When you talk about Wilbekin, he's a very tough player, gets to the rim a lot, gets fouled a lot, and he is just a tough player. But his real asset is on a defensive end. He's the catalyst of why they're number 1 in the conference. You talk about Kentucky, the diaper dandy inside, Mr. Randall. He has a versatility, 12 double-doubles. The guy can flat out score, but they're going to have to get him the ball to the inside. Has not gotten the ball as much as I believe he should.
Is John Calipari's young team ready to step up against one of the best teams in the nation tonight in Lexington? This has been the Infinity Tip-Off. Now let's take a look at how some coaches have fun with fundraising in the Infinity Coaches Charity Challenge.
At guard, a 6'4" sophomore from Tampa, Florida, number 20, Mike.
Welcome to Saturday Prime Time, presented by DirecTV. This is the SEC on ESPN. And what a game we've got for you tonight from Rupp Arena here in Lexington, Kentucky. Number 3, Florida. Number 14, Kentucky. Fierce rivals, of course, in recent years within the SEC. And this game figures to be no different. Well, what another exciting finish for number 1 Syracuse as they hang on, beat NC State by a point. Remember, Arizona, number 2, lost last night in double overtime at Arizona State. Let's see what's going on here with number 3 Florida.
Tell you one thing, Syracuse found a way to win. They got the winner's mentality. It's been survived for them making big plays. Usually Ennis, tonight it was fear.
The Wildcats with the first possession of the game. Kentucky 19-5, 9-2 in the league. Gutted out. A couple of tough road wins, low scoring, not works of art by any stretch, but John Calipari thinks his team is starting to grow up. Have they grown up enough to compete with the senior-laden Gators?
Well, they're a different team here at Rupp. They've won 14-0. I think a lot of it's the fans. The fans really get behind this club, so passionate.
And an early foul on the Gators as tried to step in to take the charge.
And that's what they really do well. They attack the basket one-on-one. They go to the free throw line so often. You got two things happening here. Florida is one of the best in the country in not fouling, and Kentucky is one of the best in the country in getting to the free throw line.
Andrew Harrison, one of 5 freshmen in the starting lineup for the Kentucky Wildcats. The twins in the backcourt, Andrew and Aaron from Richmond, Texas.
I think he's a key player in this game. If he plays well, usually Kentucky plays well. When they went out and beat Missouri at Missouri, the two Harrisons had between them 35 points and 1 turnover.
Zone out of the gate here by Kentucky.
Just trying to play with their minds. They're basically a man-to-man club, but they're trying to play a little zone here. Florida not a good three-point shooting team.
Casey Prather, one of the most improved players in the country this year, into the corner. The three is no good for Michael Frazier, who is their best shooter. And back come the Wildcats. Young is open.
Oh, do they need that from Young? He's really been in a slump. Last 3 games is like 3 for 14.
And a foul on the drive by Prather as we check in, if she can hear us, with Shannon Spade.
Well, Dan, both of these teams playing with a little extra motivation here tonight as if they needed it. Scotty Wilbekin told me this week that this is one game he had circled on his schedule all season long. Why? Because he's a senior. He's never won here at Rupp. This is his last chance. Now for Kentucky, it came in 2 words from Coach Calipari. He told his guys this week, it's time. Did they listen? Well, we'll soon see that, but I will tell you there was a little extra motivation at practice on a defensive drill. All 5 of the guys slapped the ground at the same time. Something to watch for.
All right, Shannon, thank you. Prather misses them both, so a sluggish start here for Florida.
They really didn't look good on that free throw line, shooting about 60% from the field, though, offensively. There's their man-to-man defense. They give up 57.9 points a game. Field goal percentage defensively, 39%.
One of the best defensive teams in the country, and it starts with Wilbekin, the point guard, as Kentucky turns it over. So many aspects to this game. Seniors versus freshmen. 16 in a row overall for Florida, as you mentioned, 22 in a row going back to last year for Kentucky here. Can Kentucky find a way to score against this great Florida defense?
Well, the one bottom line is they're going to have to get good offensive efficiency from Harrison at the point, and they got to get touches inside to Randall down low.
This is Frazier, left alone at the free throw line, can't hit it.
Kentucky will rebound. They're the best in the nation on the offensive glass, 14.8 a game.
Here's Dakari Johnson, his 5th consecutive start. Aaron Harrison stepped out of bounds and turns it over. Michael Stevens, Antonio Petty, Doug Sermons are officials here tonight at Rupp. And we have an early substitution as Billy Donovan goes to his bench, and he brings in Dorian Finney-Smith in place of Will Yeguet.
Well, you know, Finney-Smith can give you some points. He can do it in a versatile kind of manner. He can shoot the 3. He can also attack off the bounce.
He'll also have to guard Julius Randle. That's the assignment that he's drawn in relief of Yeguet. Nice shot fake. The drive by Finney-Smith. Weak side rebound. Patrick Young lays it back in.
Well, he should be strong on the interior. They need his physicality around that box inside.
Screen by Randall, and again you see Randall kind of scowling at Andrew Harrison a little bit because Harrison didn't use that screen. And John Calipari talked about how invested are they, how united is this Kentucky team, how much chemistry do they have, because the Florida team is known for not only being experienced but having great chemistry.
Well, the body language has been a little problem for some of the young guys. They get a little bit down if things don't go well. Defensive transition is an area they got to really pick up because Florida will get to the basket.
Wilbekin looking inside for Young. Now kicks it back out.
Florida's not going to be an all-out playing here. This is a veteran basketball team, 3 years in a row to the Elite 8.
Young with a left hand, no. Young gets it back. Tip no good. Kentucky ball.
James Young very active.
Andrew Harrison almost running right up the back of his teammate, Dakari Johnson. Now here's a touch. Randall the kick. Young, the 10-footer. Good start tonight for James Young.
And that is big because he has really struggled the last 3 games. He's a very streaky guy. He can get on fire for 4 or 5 in a row.
Listen to this place, Dick.
It's one of the special venues in college basketball. I love coming here. I tell you, when we arrived, I got excited. Big Blue Nation.
Young, turnaround jump hook off the front of the rim.
Big time rebound right there by Randall. He's a double-double guy. Yep. 12 double-doubles this year. You excited about being here?
This is great.
This is phenomenal. I mean, you walk in here, you can feel this is basketball.
Over 23,000 people here to support their Wildcats. You saw a great crowd watching game day this morning. Finney-Smith again, one of the best shot fakes in America. The kick. Wilbekin knocks down the wing 3.
He's been so consistent this year. Makes big shots. Been playing defensively. Showing a lot more responsibility, accountability.
Yep.
As we've documented it, he's been suspended over the years, but he's really turned the corner, according to Billy Donovan, before the game.
It's the first 6 games of the year, but has fulfilled every responsibility he's been asked to since, and has become one of the best point guards in the country. Here's Randall. Kept the toe down, trying to drive on Finney-Smith. Good help from Wilbekin.
They double up on him when he gets the ball inside.
Shot clock running down, so a desperation shot won't go for Andrew Harrison.
Yeah, really not a good possession right there.
Prather, this is what he loves to do. He can drive with the best of them.
That's why he shoots 60%. He gets to the rim, he gets out in transition.
They started sluggishly, but they have rallied. And Casey Prather for the Gators, down 5 moments ago, are tied with the Wildcats.
You're watching ESPN's Rivalry Week, presented by Wendy's.
And welcome back to Rupp Arena. Tied at 7 in the early going between the Gators and the Wildcats. Dan Schulman, Dick Vitale, and again, Shannon Spade.
Well, Dan, Coach Calipari coming into this game talked about some of his young players, 19-year-olds, going up against the Florida players who are 23 years old. They are grown men. You can see from some of these pictures how much they've grown strength and conditioning-wise during their time here at Florida. Will you get Patrick Young? He's leaned up, lost about 10 pounds. And, of course, Casey Prather right there, who's having a stellar season. He's averaging more than 5 times his points that he did in the other seasons combined, plus his rebounds, and that last play, of course, just driving to the basket. You got to think that strength is on his side when he does that.
All right, Shannon, thank you. And, of course, one of the issues for Kentucky is by the time they're 19-year-olds or 23, they're long gone. They don't even get to 20 in a Kentucky uniform because they've got so many one-and-dones.
They've been turning it over, man. You talk about going to the NBA. But the bottom line is, John, he didn't want to answer me when I said, John, you tell us about what a tough game and how tough. You're the favorite, John. You're the favorite here tonight. He said they're number 3 in the country.
And Florida leads.
He's been unbelievable here, though, at Rupp. 81-2. The only 2 losses, Baylor and Texas A&M, when Elston Turner Jr. went absolutely bananas.
There's a foul on Prather. One of the huge keys tonight for Kentucky, John Calipari told us, is can they handle the Florida press? And they're getting a taste of it right now.
I think there are 2 factors you have to look at in playing against Florida. Can you handle their pressure? And does Kentucky do a job in defensive transition? John Clay, right around here, wrote about that, and he's accurate. He's 100% correct. They have to do a better job getting back defensively.
Right now, Prather is on Andrew Harrison as that pass is deflected and stolen.
Well, they rotate. Prather's a guy defensively. He's very versatile. He can play a number of positions.
Willie Cauley-Stein into the game for Kentucky out of the timeout. Alex Poitras as well. They're the graybeards for Kentucky. They're sophomores.
Tell you one thing, Willie Cauley-Stein had a big game in the win over Florida last year here.
Wilbekin, good help defense there by Cauley-Stein and Poitras sliding their feet.
Well, Willie Cauley-Stein will block shots.
Prather. And it's a 3-point lead for Florida and an 8-0 run for the Gators after they were down 7-2.
Florida's found a way to win. They've been in a lot of tough basketball games. In the last 4 minutes, they have great mental discipline, which means they focus. They know how to focus. And that's the experience you were talking about, Dan.
But one thing they've never done, Dick, this group, win in this building. You have to go back to 2007, the last time the Gators won here. So for all these seniors, this one means a lot. Nice turnaround by Willie Cauley-Stein.
Why he got the ball down deep. I could never understand why his numbers aren't a lot better offensively. I mean, he's a teaser. He really flat out teases you.
He's been inconsistent in and out of the starting lineup at various points. Terrific defensive player.
Oh, what a nice drive right there.
Andrew Harrison lays it in with the left hand. Kentucky back on top.
Great drive. I talk about him being a teaser with a Cauley-Stein. Remind me as a kid, the beautiful girl says hello to you. She teases you, and then you ask her to go out. She says, no, no.
Big Blue Nation is all fired up again.
Well, 2 good plays. Harrison with the great drive to the goal. Willie Cauley-Stein with the catch inside. There's a good change of speed. Came out so highly rated. The accolades were unbelievable on the 2 Harrison kids. They better come back to Kentucky. They need Kentucky more than Kentucky needs them, because right now their stock value in the NBA has really dropped big time.
Behind the back pass from Wilbekin down to Young, creates a little space, doesn't get the bounce, and Randall down with another rebound.
Randall's a man-child in terms of rebounding the basketball.
Jared Polson into the game for Kentucky. This is him with the ball.
He gives them a little calmness. I asked John about that on the phone yesterday. He said he plays with a little calmness to our team, something we need.
And he'll knock down the open shot. He's in for Andrew Harrison. Randall's thinking about it. He's thinking about it, but he doesn't take it.
He wants to drive with the ball. Good ball movement.
Poitras, and it's a held ball, and it's going to go over to Florida. Conference play continues on Big Monday at 7 Eastern. It'll be North Carolina, fresh off a big win this afternoon over Pittsburgh down in Tallahassee to take on the Seminoles. And then at 9 o'clock, the reeling Oklahoma State Cowboys are to Waco to take on Baylor. Big Monday presented by Verizon.
Tell you being very kind right there. Reeling? Like, what did they lose, 6 in a row
6 in a row.
6 in a row.
And they'll be without Marcus Smart again in that game on Monday. That'll be the third and final game of his suspension. Casey Hill, freshman point guard, turns it over.
Not a good play right there. With the size Kentucky has, very difficult to throw that lob pass on the interior.
First turnover committed tonight by the Gators.
It's a solid Gator basketball team no matter what happens here. A legit threat come March Madness.
We've got #1 Syracuse hung on. You saw it just moments ago. A 1-point win over North Carolina State. #2 Arizona losing in double overtime to Arizona State last night. And #3 Florida here battling Kentucky tonight.
And nobody mentions Wichita State. They just keep win, and win.
Randall is fouled, and we'll head to the free throw line when we come back at the makings of a good one here at Rupp.
The path to a rivalry is seldom drawn in a straight line. But once that line exists, there is no questioning its sides. Lush bluegrass or murky swamp, established power or relative upstart, offensive firepower or defensive dominance. The best a rivalry has to offer occurs when something is on the line. For SEC supremacy, the rivalry is all that matters. These wicked
And it is rivalry week as Kentucky faces Florida. Kentucky leading all-time 94-34. Florida has not won at Rupp since 2007. That was the second of the back-to-back national championship seasons for Billy Donovan down in Gainesville. He's certainly got a team capable of that kind of success this year.
Well, I'll tell you, they have that chance, no doubt about it. But I totally disagree with people trying to say this club could be as good as the teams in 06 and 07. Those teams were special, man. You talk Noah, you talk Brewer, you talk guys like Horford. They were all drafted up on top. Then they had the kid Humphrey making threes, Green. I mean, that was a special basketball team.
There's not a team this year like those Florida teams or Kentucky 2 years ago. Wouldn't you agree? There are a lot of really good teams, but there are no teams at that level this year.
The Kentucky team 2 years ago was so special. They had two big-time winners in guys like Kid Gilchrist and Anthony Davis.
Open in the corner for three, not there for Devon Walker, who knocked down a couple in the Tuesday win over Tennessee.
They were down at halftime in that game. Tennessee shot really up 65% in the first half, 27% the second half.
Walker passed up the shot this time. Finney-Smith again with the shot fake. Third time he has already used that tonight.
Well, they talked about it in game day, Jay did, about the great pump fake. You got to rotate over and give help and not allow them to get that baseline.
Pressure, but they get it over. Young, nice look. Randall at the elbow takes a bump and finishes.
He's tough in there. If he can get the 3-second area, I firmly believe they got to get him more touches. We had the Carolina game. He didn't touch the ball.
John Calipari says he's got to be a beast. Play defense, rebound. The points will come. The opportunities will come if he does his thing and doesn't worry solely about scoring points.
There's Randall right here on the interior. One of the great diaper dandies in America. Great body control, hangs up there. A terrific talent. Almost came to Florida, according to the reports today. He was quoted as saying, came very close, played for Billy Donovan on an 18-under international team.
In 2012, the summer of 2012, and now part of this very talented freshman class for the Kentucky Wildcats. Young, not this time.
So Harrison gives you great size on the perimeter. Handling the ball, great vision, 6'5", point guard.
Wilbekin back in for Hill at the point for Florida.
He loves to drive. He's a driver, man. He likes to get into a gap, seam, and attack.
Finney Smith. Boy, Finney Smith, how good is this guy? How many teams in America would have a guy that good coming off the bench?
Well, he's a great guy. Gives him instant relief, man. He's a roll-aid specialist.
Again, Kentucky breaks the pressure. Young draws the foul and will go to the line for a couple.
Going to take a look right here on the baseline. Great fake right there. Great pump fake. There he is right there to the goal. Great move spinning in the lane.
Young at the line.
And at the line, James Young, you mentioned it, struggling shooting the ball coming into the game tonight. Hit an early three in this game. 2 for 14 on threes his last 3 games, and his coach is happy right now because what he told us is he wants him to drive the ball. He wants to suck people in because of his shooting ability, go by them, make a play, and that's what Young did right there.
Well, he was a big-time player at the high school level in Michigan. John Calipari, if you can play, he's going to find you all over. The guy's a recruiting, unbelievable guru, really, in recruiting. He's incredible the way he recruits.
See those subs coming in. Yes, go ahead.
Special uniforms.
Yep. Nike out with some new uniforms for Kentucky into this game. A couple of misses at the line. Florida ball. Chris Walker is into the game. Number 23, 4th game back after all kinds of issues kept him off the court. Only playing about 5-6 minutes a game right now for the Gators.
He's an athlete. Guy that can run up and down the court. Great quickness.
That's
great
him.
elevation.
But raw at the offensive end.
Can't shoot the ball, Dan. I've watched him now 2-3 times. He has to really learn that part of the game. Rated very high. He's a first-round projected draft choice, but he's a kid that needs college. He's got to learn how to play.
Stolen by Prather.
He's a big-time player, one of the rising stars in basketball. Casey Prather. Hey, shows you what a difference a year makes, baby.
7 already. Prather averaging over 15 a game.
Nothing like having that winner's experience. A lot of people have experience, but they got a winner's experience.
Elite 8, as you mentioned, each of the last 3 years, and their sights are set even higher than that this season. Bolson into Dakari Johnson. And somebody, I think you got a piece of it. Crowd wants a foul.
Good job defensively by the Gators. They're one of the premier defensive teams in America. Mostly man-to-man, but they will go to a 1-3-1 zone.
Averaging just 58 points allowed on the season. Young skies for the rebound.
39% field goal percentage. And a lot of that went up a little bit because Alabama shot well against him.
Johnson again.
Nice move inside by Johnson. He's a kid that's improved. He's worked hard on his post moves. Look, he's trying to cheer, get the crowd into it. They're saying, you don't have to do that. We're going to cheer. We love our Cats. Oh, they love their Cats here. There he's in the post. Great drop step. Watch that stop. There's the drop step. Spin back. Goes to the left hand.
Johnson, one of the many very highly touted recruits, but at the beginning of the year was kind of finding his ways. I mean, he's a true center. He doesn't step out and try to shoot jumpers. He is a back-to-the-basket guy, starting his 5th consecutive game.
He's taking some minutes away from Willie Cauley-Stein.
Yep. Johnson, 7 foot, 265 out of Brooklyn.
They got another great recruiting class coming in next year.
And another missed free throw. Kentucky gets to the line a lot, but they're not a great free throw shooting team.
They missed 15 of them in the last game against Auburn. And Florida's not a good free throw shooting team. They struggle on the free throw line.
Prather, nice bounce pass into you get. And he draws the foul.
I mean, they get all those guys. You can interchange them. Different parts you get. Prather, Finney Smith. It's unbelievable, the versatility.
The second foul on Dakari Johnson. So Willie Cauley-Stein's at the scorer's table to check in.
Well, they got depth. They got really a deep basketball team. guys have played a lot of minutes. When you can bring off the bench guys like Willie Cauley-Stein and Poitras, you got talent.
Right.
I don't want to hear about 19-year-olds and 20-year-olds.
Guys who will probably play in the NBA.
These guys are talented young players.
Johnson out with 2. Cauley-Stein, a great shot blocker, takes his place.
There's a lot of schools in America would love to have those 19-year-olds. Jabbing that ball, no smooth follow through. You gotta go watch their coach, Billy D, man. He was able to make free throws. That's Allen Harrison with the ball.
Well, he was more wide open than he realized he was. Both Harrisons and Polson in the game at the same time right now. This is Andrew Harrison, forces it up.
See, bad shots. That's what their young kids have a tendency. They lose a little focus. You can't lose focus against Florida now. You may do that against Auburn and some of those clubs, but not against this Gator team.
Prather fouled on the reverse, and Casey Prather might have been the best player on the floor in the first 12 minutes and 16 seconds of this game. The senior will be at the line when we come back, finishing strong earlier. Tonight's game is part of ESPN's Journey to the Tourney, presented by Sonic, a season-long spotlight on games that will impact the tournament. Got a good one going here, but Rupp, 17-16 Florida during the break. Shannon Spake was with John Calipari.
Coach, you've asked your players to come out with a fight starting the game several times this season. What do you think about the way they've done that?
Again, I think they're fighting, they're battling. One-handed rebounds. We worked 2 days on ball fakes. We've left our feet. And again, young kids anxious to play. We got 3 guys that are going to ball fake guys. We left our feet giving them baskets, but I like the effort.
You told them not to let this Florida offense control them. Where have they shown their strengths that ways?
They've done pretty good. We got to rebound a little bit better.
Thanks, Coach.
So he likes the effort, he likes the intensity, but they were told don't bite on the shot fake. They've bitten on shot fakes. Again, is this just, as he says, freshmen being a little excited, a little anxious going into such a big game?
Well, I think kids have a tendency to get a little excited, especially early in this game. This game's got so much hype, so much publicity. It's easy to say don't go for the fake. The kid at Louisville does that great as well, Hancock. More kids should work on that. That little ball fake, man, it'll get you free, give you space. The idea as a player offensively, you want space. A lot of guys can shoot the ball there, but they can't get space.
Remember Sam Young at Pittsburgh, one of the best that we've seen in recent years in the college game doing that. And Finney Smith's right there with him.
You know, Pittsburgh's got to find a way to get a win against a quality team. Lost again today to North Carolina, who, by the way, has won 6 in a row.
James Michael McAdoo, 24 points, 12 rebounds for the Tar Heels. Marcus Page, 5 threes today for Carolina.
Got a nice combination, those two, really playing well.
Prather with 9 of Florida's 19.
There's the pressure, just tries to take out of the rhythm. Not going to get a lot of steals out of it, but they don't allow you to get into a flow, into the rhythm of your offense.
Can they get Randall involved? Well, he's going to involve himself from beyond the arc. That's one way to get it done.
That's a rarity. He doesn't usually shoot that ball out there.
That's his 3rd 3 in 12 attempts on the season.
He was wide open. Wide open. See, Florida can really play off Polson because he's not a threat offensively.
Polson guarding Wilbekin. Frazier quiet early for the Gators. He's their best outside shooter. Yaget's going to try a 3.
He rebounds the basketball. See the 2 hands? He went up real strong for that rebound. Cauley-Stein wants the ball down in the box here if they get a good angle. I mean, he's so big, he's agile, mobile. I remember initially Digger thought he was going to be a top player the way he started. I don't blame Digger saying it.
Aaron Harrison a little bit strong and a good rebound in traffic by Prather, who's been everywhere tonight for Florida.
You know, we saw him early, Willie Cauley-Stein. We were blown away by his talent.
Finney Smith misses the 3. Some quick shots at both ends recently. Young cradles, banks, and finishes.
He's an attacker. He can attack you off the bounce. Look at Florida. Look at him get back and get a score. Wow. And that's what John Calipari was talking about. Teams are scoring after we score. That's a no-no, man. You can't pound and sulk or player on a back line, watch his teammates score. You got to rotate back defensively.
He said in a game, I think it was the Missouri game, that Missouri had 11 baskets in transition, and 7 of them were after made baskets. Just an unforgivable sin. If you're John Calipari, pray
nice
for another
pass.
steal, want to feed to Finney Smith.
What a terrific play, man. A little showtime around the back, the layup. Prather really helping his club in many ways.
Got that look in his eye, doesn't he?
He really is a tough player defensively. These kids want to win. They have never tasted victory leaving. They've always had to warm up the bus and have their heads down. They want the one time to leave Lexington with a W.
John Calipari's like 8 feet out on the court right now, trying to holler something to his team at the other end. He's going to make a couple of subs. Let's take a look at this recent sequence. As Florida, the missed three. Wildcats come down and score, but then after a made basket dig, Florida beats them down the court.
Well, look at the back guys. Turn their back to the ball, going back nonchalantly. You got to sprint back, turn, and stop the basketball. That's a no-no. Andrew
Harrison takes a bump from Patrick Young.
Well, I talked about Kentucky going to the free throw line there. It's unbelievable. They shoot only 67%, but they have gone to the free throw line 742 times. That's like almost 30 a game, isn't that?
Over 30 a game.
Yeah, that's incredible.
About 31 attempts per game for Kentucky. They shoot 67.5% as a team.
And Florida shoots 66% as a team. Here's the key player. If they're going to be an elite team, Andrew Harrison has to be special. Is it asking too much of him? Maybe it is. Maybe he's not as good as many thought coming out of the high school ranks, and the kid is given everything he has. He's going to be a very good player. He's a talented young guy who now has found the game, the quickness, meeting better challenges. There's his zone now.
2-3 zone, Kentucky.
Hill's not a threat to shoot the ball from the perimeter. He's a tackler off the bounce.
This guy's a threat. Frazier rattles it in and out.
They were on the ropes in the game recently I had against Missouri. He hit 3 in a row to start the second half.
He is scoreless so far here tonight.
He's a guy that can get really on fire. You wouldn't believe this. He takes up 250 threes before a game.
Andrew off to Aaron.
They've done that a little in their backyard.
Holly Stein wanted it in the post. They didn't get it to him. Aaron Harrison, 18-footer, not there.
Look at that hustle, man. Look at that hustle.
Kentucky ball.
I don't start with that alternate possession. That's such a joke. One of the real sins in college basketball. Guys bust their back now. They hustle the Florida kids, and instead the ball goes to Kentucky. Love these big games, man. You can feel the electricity, the intensity. You know, these two teams basically, to me, when you look at the SEC, I look at two teams going to the NCAA tournament.
I think you're
show me a third team. I want to see somebody show me a third team with a resume that warrants a bid to the NCAA. I don't see it.
The last time the SEC had only 2 teams go to the tournament, it was 1979 when only 40 teams were invited to the NCAA. Young with a floater.
Nice little layup by Young. 79, that was the start of the 4 magical letters, ESPN, and they are magical.
Follow is good for Young, but wave it off. Doug Sermons, the official, is calling basket interference. Said Young was in the cylinder on that play, so wave that basket off for the Florida Gators.
I think it was a good call. I really do. I think it was a good call. You can't play with the ball up on that cylinder.
You'll get a good look right here.
Play with it on a cylinder. Close. Close.
And welcome back to Rupp Arena. It's 25-23. Kentucky leading Florida after they waved off that last basket. You saw it go into break. Have another look. Does not look like Patrick Young's hand was in the cylinder when he made contact with that ball. That probably should have counted for the Gators. During the break, Billy Donovan with Shannon Spade.
Coach, defensively, what will your focus be as this game progresses?
Well, I think we've done a pretty good job. The only thing was we had a couple of breakdowns in our pick and roll coverage out top. Got Patrick Young a foul. But other than that, I think we've been defending pretty well. We got to make a few more baskets. You know, I think we've had some pretty decent looks that haven't gone down. They've made some very difficult shots too. But you know, let's say it's a tight game, and you know, hopefully close out the half strong.
What do you think will be the key in making some of those baskets
Well, I just think that, we're getting good looks. That, Dorian Finney-Smith had a couple. He hasn't had any gone down. Frazier's had 3 threes that he hasn't made any. So hopefully we'll just stick with it. Maybe some shots will start to fall.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Is there any doubt that he will head to the Hall of Fame? None. He is absolutely got the total package as a coach. And I'm going to tell you
national championships, 3 more Elite Eights, and whatever they're possibly headed for this season with this great team.
And I'm going to tell you this, the guy on the other sideline, John Calipari, he's going to compile so many numbers in his career, they're not going to be able to deny him the Hall of Fame.
A 2-point lead for Kentucky with 3.5 to go here in the first half of the run.
So I look at that size of Willie Cauley-Stein. I see him out here with the basketball. Got to get to the rim. Look at that talent he has. I mean, that was just great talent there.
How about the talent that guy has, too?
Not bad. Good offensive rebound. We said they lead the nation offensively on the glass. 14.8 a game.
Randall, 8 points, 5 rebounds. Maybe on his way to his 13th double-double of the season. Prather, beautiful feed, but Cauley-Stein knocks it away.
And that's what he does well. Block shots.
Frazier.
He's blocked 73 this year.
And Young is called for an over-the-back foul for Patrick Young. That'll be his second.
If Florida's going to leave here with a win, I firmly believe Frazier is going to have to make some threes. Right now, the team is 1 for 8 shooting threes, and he's going to have to. He's the one guy that can make a three. He's not going to make it. They'll sit on a pile.
Frazier sits. Young stays after picking up his second foul. And at the line now, bonus for Kentucky, Andrew Harrison.
I got a feeling we'll see Florida play a little 1-3-1 zone as well. Kentucky not a really terrific perimeter shooting team.
You said earlier, tell us why. Why is this game more important to Kentucky than it is?
Well, I think it is because look at their resume. They need an elite win. You're not getting too many elite wins in the SEC. I mean, you can talk to me all you want about how tough it is at Arkansas and Tennessee. Bottom line is those clubs are not among the elite. Where in some of the other conferences, Big 10, Big 12, ACC, you're playing some elite people.
Their best win, Louisville.
Yep, absolutely.
After that, probably at Missouri would be their next best win.
And Missouri's been really average at best. Gators give you that opportunity. You're at home. You're the favorite. You got to put them away.
Is it time for Wilbekin to make a play? It's an 8-0 run, Kentucky. Good defense. Randall staying right with him.
Yeah, he stayed right on top of him.
I think we have a foul. Not on Cauley-Stein. It was before the ball got up in the air. And it's going on Andrew Harrison. ESPN is a proud partner in the Play for K initiative, which raises money and awareness for breast cancer. And as part of that initiative, you'll see the Lady Vols of Tennessee taking on Kentucky in an SEC showdown tomorrow at 1 on ESPN and also live on Watch ESPN.
Can I make a prediction on the women's side? I don't follow it as closely as I probably should, but I think we ought to play it right now. Connecticut and Notre Dame for the national title. I think play it. Who's going to beat those two teams? See, right now, really important to Florida. You don't want to go in that locker room down double digits, so you want to be able to avert a spurt here by Kentucky. Free throw line.
1 for 2.
Really struggling on the line.
Young now to the bench for Florida. Picked up his second foul moments ago, so a smaller lineup for the Gators. You get defending Cauley-Stein. They go into him. They double him. Nice pass, and Randall slams it.
Pass. Great execution right there. Why not more of that? Why don't we see that more often? Cauley-Stein and Randall should dominate on a collegiate level on the interior. That must drive John Calipari bananas. See that kind of skill and talent. I'm telling you, Willie Cauley-Stein might be the biggest tease in college basketball.
And Florida a little out of sync here offensively. Crowd wanted to travel on the stumble. Shot clock at 8.
No Frazier to shoot a three.
Wilbekin's got to make a play.
They're staying in front of him.
Long rebound to Hill and a fresh 35 for the Gators.
Doing a great job staying in front of Wilbekin, not allowing him to give them numbers with penetration. This crowd is into it, man. This crowd is into it.
Hill. And the finish inside, a basket that Florida sorely needed.
Nice drive right there by Hill to create that opportunity. got to be active. You got to want the ball if you're Willie Cauley-Stein. You're agile, you got great size, you got length.
Now John Calipari putting a play in. They're going to run the clock down a little bit here. Had an opportunity if they went quickly to go 2 for 1, something you don't see very often at all on the collegiate level. Randall with a turnaround. And now Florida with about a 3-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock.
You know, Randall's had single-figure field goal attempts in 5 of his last 8 games. He's much more aggressive today. He wants the ball.
Randall tonight, 4 for 5, 10 points so far.
Hey, Mr. Wildcat, Oscar Combs told me, you don't come in this building on a big game with these fans and leave with a win. He might be right. I mean, they're so tough here.
Wilbekin draws the foul on Young.
And that's what he really does well, Wilbekin. If he can turn the corner, create opportunities for his teammates, or also get fouled. There's the great pass inside. Randall wide open because of the double team. They recognize the double team. Oh, he pumps the chest. Play hoops. There it is for the jam. Hey, hanging on the rim. They shot a technical last night in that Arizona game.
Did they get lucky?
Absolutely.
Although even if they call a technical and they make a couple of free throws, then Arizona's still got to make a shot at the end of the game. But boy, Jaheed Carson, did he get lucky? That
why do you grab the rim? I mean, why do you dunk? You don't run out the clock.
Coming up at the Mazda halftime report, a couple of great finishes in the ACC and an overtime thriller in the Big 12. One of those great finishes in the ACC involved the #1 team in the nation, the Syracuse Orange. You won't want to miss the finish.
Hey, you are not going to want to miss us next Saturday night.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
The rematch.
Oh, boy.
Syracuse at Duke.
Wow. We'll be joined by Jay Billis in that game.
Aaron Harrison in and out. The first half comes to a close.
Good defensive effort by Kentucky. They lead with the lead up 3 on the #3 team in America, the Gators.
The young Wildcats are battling, and they've got a 3-point lead on #3 Florida at halftime here at Rupp. When we come back, Reese Davis and the guys deliver the Mazda halftime reports.
These wicked games that we play. These wicked games that we play.
Welcome back to Rupp Arena and welcome back to Saturday Prime Time, presented by DirecTV. Kentucky and Florida as we get ready for the second half. The Wildcats up 31-28. Kentucky unbeaten at home this year. Florida's won 16 in a row. Overall, they've only lost twice all season. As we take a look at the first half stats of note, Florida didn't shoot it well. 33% overall, 1 for 9 from 3, but they only turned it over twice. Kentucky didn't dominate on the offensive glass. They only had 2 offensive rebounds. So some of the numbers not according to what you would expect for these two teams. What's the key going into the second half?
Well, you know, the fact of the matter, you just mentioned, they're not shooting well. You're Florida, you're 1 for 9, you shoot 33%. The other club shoots 50%. They're at home, and they're only up 3. I think when you look at games against Tennessee, Alabama, Missouri, same scenario. Struggling at halftime, come out, all of a sudden make big shots. Key player, keep an eye on. I think he could be the key in the second half. Mr. Frazier. Mr. Frazier. The 3 ball.
First of 2 regular season meetings between the Gators and the Wildcats. They'll meet to close the regular season on March the 8th. Down in Gainesville. Florida with the first possession of the second half.
Yeah, they're down in Gainesville. They're trying to get Justin Timberlake to join them for that game. Come on, Justin, get out there to help them.
Prather with a big first half for Florida, 12 points. Wild shot by Young won't go, and James Young, no relation, down with a rebound for Kentucky.
They've done a great job, Kentucky, keeping the ball out of Young's hands on the interior. That's that size. I mean, let's face it. That size can be intimidating when you look out there. Guys like Johnson, Cauley-Stein, Randall.
Aaron and Andrew Harrison in the backcourt. Aaron didn't score in the first half. Andrew had 8 points, 6 of them at the free throw line. Dakari Johnson, there's just no moving Patrick Young down on the block.
Well, the one thing the Harrisons didn't do, though, they didn't turn the ball over. That's a big plus. Big plus.
Jumper short for Andrew Harrison. Randall another rebound. The kick to Aaron. And the baseline jumper won't go. Out of bounds to Kentucky as we check in with Shannon Spake.
Well, Coach Donovan told me coming out of the locker room that he felt good with them just being down 3 points going into the half. He mentioned the offensive struggles, you guys. He said they're making shots, we're not. He said our players knew that this was going to be a 40-minute grind, and he specifically said to me, we're hoping that fatigue can play into the second half.
Well, maturity-wise, experience-wise, they have done a great job, Florida, in the last 4 minutes of games, that winning time. If it's close, I think they get an edge.
Wilbekin chasing Young around some screens. Young's the guy you got to keep an eye on the perimeter.
Young's got some size on him. You take him on the inside as well. He'll double up on a post.
And goes in there and forces a turnover.
Take a look at this here. You talk about experience versus youth.
79% of the Kentucky points come from freshmen. 57% of the Florida points come from seniors.
You got 4 seniors. We talked about it earlier. 3 elite Final 8s, man. They don't want that. They want the Final 4 and better.
Wilbekin with the left-handed lay-in.
He's been Mr. Clutch for them all year. A guy that really makes big plays like Napier down at Connecticut, Ennis with Syracuse.
Good ball movement. Young gets a good look at it.
I mean, it's unbelievable the way he's shooting here tonight because he has been 2 for 14 in the last 3 games. Great ball reversal made that happen. They swung the ball really well.
Backdoor feed, and Prather with the dunk as the other Kentucky defenders had their heads turned.
Yeah, well, where was Johnson on that play? He had no vision of ball man. Nobody rotated over. I could see beating the initial guy, but you got to have help defense in that 3-second area.
Prather shooting 61% on the season, 5 for 5 tonight. So many of his baskets right around the rim. They double Randall instantly and force him to give it up.
Doing a nice job swinging the ball.
Andrew Harrison short again. Runs it down, but stepped out of bounds.
You know, watch right here. Nice backdoor cut. And look at the defense. See number 44? Oh, I wish I could draw that. He is staring out on the court. Doesn't see ball, you man. You got to be able to see the ball and the man. The ball is the most dangerous thing on the floor.
And whether it's related or unrelated, Dakari Johnson's now on the bench. Willie Cauley-Stein is in the game.
It is related.
And Cauley-Stein comes up with a deflection that leads to a steal.
Well, he should come with deflections with his great size and length.
Young knocked away by Wilbekin.
Oh, is he tough? Is he? Oh, what a pound. Are you kidding me? Are you serious, Danny Shulman? Are you serious? What an assist, man. That's like I got Reese Davis up there laying all those assists on all those guys. Unbelievable.
Wilbekin the dish, 16 now for Prather. This team is good, Dick.
They're very good.
Yep.
Got a bunch of good, young, talented kids in Kentucky as well.
Aaron Harrison draws the foul. If you see him again, and he ran right by us as he did it, you could see him take a little peek there, and he saw him, and a left-handed behind-the-back bounce pass.
You know, it's the second time. You talk about being unselfish. That's the second time tonight on a steal in transition. We've seen guys make plays to a teammate for a layup. Great communication right there with the vision. Tremendous job. You know, you communicate with your eyes as well.
Poitras is into the game for Kentucky, and some of the Florida bench thought that should be a backcourt violation on the Wildcats.
Poitras, the kid that came out with a big reputation out of high school.
Aaron Harrison, no, down with the rebound. Will you get?
Struggling shooting the ball, even though they lead the conference 48.6. A lot of that's on second chance offensive rebounds.
Florida looking to retake the lead. Wilbekin, they do.
I'm going to tell you something. You talk about an all-SEC team, you better start talking about that name, Wilbekin. He just keeps getting better and better and better. He's like the kid at Arizona as well, Johnson.
Scotty Wilbekin knocks down a jumper. The Gators are back on top. Tonight's game is part of ESPN's Journey to the Tourney, presented by Sonic, a season-long spotlight on games that will impact the tournament. Let's take a look now at tonight's Sonic showdown. The Florida Gators have won 16 in a row. They win tonight. That will tie a school record. Kentucky, a remarkable 81-2 in this building under John Calipari. The only 2 losses to Baylor and Texas A&M.
Tell you one thing, you look at Billy Donovan and there's a look at John Calipari. Last time they lost was way back in December to Connecticut on a dramatic shot by Napier, who was sensational today at 34 in a big win tonight.
Boatwright added 21 as they beat Memphis in overtime. There's some good teams, good games in that American Conference.
Absolutely.
Larry Brown, SMU, having a terrific season.
Oh, he's doing a phenomenal job. I love those guys in the club 70s, the Diggers, Bobby Knights, and people like Lou Holtz. The 70s club, you're not there yet. I saw the 80s club last night, Tony Bennett, and he was unbelievable. Not Tony Bennett, the coach.
Cauley Stein defended by Yeget. Young on the bench for Florida.
Got to get Randall touches inside.
Randall kicks it out, give him an assist on the 3 by James Young.
James Young's been a difference maker tonight for Kentucky. He has really come alive, and oh, did they need it.
Prather.
Got numbers. Got look at Cauley Stein running.
Young lays it in, another assist for Randall.
They got to do more of that, baby. Run, baby, run. Thoroughbreds. Oh, they got thoroughbreds in this city. We saw some coming in here.
What a momentum shift out of the timeout for Kentucky.
I'll give you a little momentum, a transition.
Finney Smith can't knock down the 3. Cauley Stein with a rebound.
Little Mo right now on the side of Big Blue Nation. Two-man game, big screen up on top is Cauley Stein.
Strong drive and a foul on Finney Smith.
I mean, you watch him drive right there, a 7-foot-plus guy, and you say, why not? Look around now, going to pass the ball out to Young, and Young knows what to do with it. Nothing but nylon, nothing but nylon. And look at Randall handle the rock. Great job, great look, and Mr. Young finishes.
Back here at Rupp Arena moments ago during the timeout. The guy they loved here in Lexington, Nerlens Noel, with 76ers, but injured right now, but a great defensive player, great shot blocker. It's All-Star Weekend, so you got some former Wildcats who are now in the NBA. Oh, and you got your favorite is here.
Oh,
your all-time favorite is here.
I got hugs from her. She has 3 movies coming out. You know, some guys get lucky. What can I tell you? Hey, bottom line is, I talked to Noel. He told me he feels great. He's been practicing. Can't wait to play. They're smart, holding him off to next year. They'll join Michael Carter-Williams. They'll have some good young kids with the 76ers.
James Young leading Kentucky with 17. Casey Prather leading Florida with 16. Back and forth, they've gone all night. Wildcats by 3 with Willie Cauley Stein at the line.
I remember the first time we saw him. Digger told me, he said, man, I love this kid. And I could see why. You watch the great size, the running ability. He's just got to mentally want to do it. The free throw line's been tough.
He has played hard tonight. He's gotten a lot of minutes tonight in relief of Dakari Johnson, but the numbers haven't been there. But he's done more in this game than the numbers would indicate.
He had a little incident earlier this year on a coaching at the sideline, and told him, I'm not going to tolerate that nonsense. Just play hard, you'll get your minutes. I mean, coaches want to win, man. They're going to play guys that can help them win, and he can help them win.
Prather on the bench right now for Florida. Wilbekin. And here's Andrew Harrison.
See that great size and the perimeter players like Harrison could rebound.
And a foul is called going against Casey Hill.
That's one of the great strengths of Kentucky. Attack, attack, attack. Take you to the basket. Go to the free throw line. Documented it earlier. Better than 700 attempts on the free throw line already.
John Calipari is telling us a funny story about how, because the Harrisons are identical twins, that if one of them plays poorly, people will come out of the game, media scouts, fan, whatever, and say, nobody can tell them apart, and say that they both have to play well for people to think either of them played well. Otherwise, they just assume all the twins had a bad game.
They just simply say the Harrisons.
Yeah.
The Harrisons played poorly. The Harrisons played well against Missouri. Oh, now they're rotating into the zone, and the crowd stands up. They love it. They love it. Look at them bouncing in that zone. Showing a little wrinkle here. 2-3 with Willie Cauley-Stein in the middle.
And Florida wasn't getting anywhere, so Billy Donovan will use a timeout. And he is hot.
Yeah, not a happy guy right here.
You don't see that a whole lot from Billy Donovan. He is unhappy with his team right now. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. Florida ball out of the timeout, down by 5. Wilbekin got it. How many times when you see Florida, when they're really struggling, is it Wilbekin who steps up and makes the next basket?
It's been Mr. Clutch. He's made big shots. Senior, guy that's been around the block. He's been part of winning. Also plays so hard defensively.
Poitras giving Randall a breather right now. Double team on Poitras. Ball's loose. Aaron Harrison corrals it. Andrew Harrison. And John Calipari livid. There wasn't a foul against Florida on the drive by Andrew Harrison, and then eventually there was a call against the Cats.
He wants the penetration. He wants the foul call right there. He wants the contact call there.
And instead, it's the second foul on Andrew Harrison.
I think Harrison's the one thing they give you, that great size on the perimeter. They're going to be very good players. They stayed in school. You watch the difference in them in a year.
And now a call against the Gators. It's Devon Walker. Well, Billy Donovan is hot and has been for several minutes.
Well, his team's not really executing. They're not shooting the ball well. Three-point line has been a disaster for them all night.
If Florida wins this game, they pretty much salt away the SEC regular season championship. If Kentucky wins it, they'd be a game back of Florida, and they'll still meet down in Gainesville in March.
And he's had success down there. John Calipari's had success in his tenure here against the Gators.
Andrew Harrison. Got it.
Like a little floater in the lane, a little one-on-one handle. Used to see that years ago at number 14 for the Celtics, Bob Cousy. That's how far back that shot goes. Here come the Cats, man. Big Blue Nation, all standing up.
You get to Hill. Hill's not a shooter. Got some mismatches, some switches. Cauley-Stein's on Wilbekin.
Young's been quiet inside. Picked up his dribble.
Boy, Randall's doing a good job defensively when he switches onto a smaller player. Hill forces it. Randall the rebound.
Oh, what a big-time rebound that was. Hill not a long-range shooter.
And a travel on James Young. Timeout on the floor. Things going Kentucky's way right now, including Andrew Harrison. Last time down the floor, picking up points number 11 and 12 here on the teardrop. It's always quite an atmosphere here at Rupp Arena, especially for a big-time game like this with the Gators in town. Better than 23,000 representing Big Blue Nation, and many of them coming here to see Julius Randle. Dick, what have you thought so?
Well, right now, look at him right there, shooting the three. Great long range he showed there. Then we're going to watch him with a great offensive rebound. Look how he protects the ball. I mean, he protects his strong body like they do in the NBA. Seals the defense. Now here comes the double up on the big guy. But now look at the mismatch inside. Wilbekin and Randall. Wilbekin has no chance with him. His physicality and strength on the interior. Jam City. Oh, great job. Great job by our guy Bob in the truck.
Bob Salmon cutting that video package back in the truck. Randall's a rebound away from his 13th double-double of the season.
I think pretty good odds he's going to get that. They got to find Frazier. They got Frazier on the floor now. He's got to get some looks. I mean, even though he missed a couple early, he is capable of going 2-3 in a row.
Wilbekin. Prather. Good help defense. Kentucky's got it.
Great job defensively by the Cats. Oh, there's the offensive rebound.
Andrew Harrison with a putback. The lead has grown to 7.
They do a great job on the offensive boards. That's one of their great strengths. Oh, they love it here. Oh, they love their Cats. Little danger time right now for the Gators. They're going out of sync. Credit that to the Kentucky defense. They've really picked it up defensively. They're going to get a screen for Frazier.
Shot clock down to 8. Patrick Young trying to bull his way in, and he will, and draws the foul.
Has not gotten the ball hardly at all night, and he's very effective down in deep with that strength. He's got great drop step use, goes right over that shoulder. Watch this. Catches the ball down on Johnson. Great move.
And using the left hand on the jump hook.
Yeah, went over the right shoulder. There he's going for his right shoulder.
As Young heads to the free throw line, we'll check in with Shannon.
Well, Dan, Coach Donovan has been very patient in this game, waiting for his offense to get going. Patience has run out. In that last huddle, he told his guys, he said, get out there, run this offense, move the ball, but make some shots. And he was not happy.
And they've been in a lot of close games this year, as we talked about a little bit earlier. They have found a way to win almost all of those close games. The only losses this year at Wisconsin and at UConn, and both of those before the holidays, way back in November, December.
You can make the same cry about Syracuse, finding a way to win.
Yep.
Mature teams do that. People that understand how to win.
Syracuse found a way to win again today. Pulled another one out of the fire with a 1-point win against North Carolina State.
Twice this week with the Pittsburgh win as well.
Randall driving on Finney-Smith, too strong.
Oh,
no basket.
No basket, but John Calipari applauding the effort.
Yep.
Supreme effort. That's what he wants out of him. He has done an amazing job taking his job, John Calipari. There aren't many guys that can fit the profile of coaching here in Lexington. One other guy was able to do it. He's down the road in Louisville.
And he said because of all the freshmen he has, he said 1 year coach, it's like dog years, but instead of 7, he said this on game day this morning, that 1 year coaching here is like 4 years coaching somewhere else. You got to turn your roster over all the time. You got freshmen all the time. And of course, they got a national championship out of it a couple of years ago.
Hey, Wilbekin, let's have numbers back it out. You got to be intelligent.
Frazier, Prather, and back to Wilbekin as they'll set up.
He's their catalyst right there with the ball, the facilitator. Mr. Wilbekin. When in doubt, put it in his hands. Number 5. He's not Joe DiMaggio, but he's a heck of a player.
For 3. Got it.
Why not? Why not? He's been doing it all year long. He's been doing it all year long, pleasing the Rowdy Reptiles. That's another great venue down there in Gainesville.
There is nothing. There is nobody, nowhere, nothing that's going to scare off Scotty Wilbekin.
I mean, this
is a tough kid.
Some of the treats we have. We have Carolina Duke on Thursday night, people. And then we got Syracuse and Duke. I mean, that's unbelievable. Great spirit.
Randall spins by you get and draws the foul.
He's a man here tonight. He's a man. He really wants the ball. Very effective inside. Take a look at right here. Scotty Wilbekin with the ball. Squares up, gets a good look, good arc. Good follow through, great rotation.
And Wilbekin now with 14, 9 of them here in the second half. At the line, Randall.
I saw Randall play in a high school tournament up in Fort Myers, and I was in awe. I saw a young guy playing there this year by the name of Okafor. All I could say is, you better beat Duke now.
Great recruiting class the Blue Devils have coming in next year. Randall 1 for 2. You get the rebound, and the lead is 2 for Kentucky.
Now we see how the young kids react in a tough situation against a veteran, experienced team with a tough winner's mentality. He wants the ball inside. Yeah, going against Holy Stein.
The running hook, and he draws the foul again.
Why not get it inside? He was quoted as saying his motivation was, we have never come here and left with a W. I want a W. That's his motivation. And he's shown it with the right hand. I mean, making like a little Kareem there with that hook shot.
And Young, who was 1 for his first 7 from the field, has now made his last 2.
I always get just absolutely marveled by his body. I even think he's a potential tight end in the NFL.
Made a great play near the end of the Tennessee game on Tuesday, diving for a loose ball, just beating 2 volunteer defenders, got them an extra possession. They won the game. And in fact, John Calipari liked that play so much, he showed it to his team as an example of making a winning play, giving yourself up to help your team.
You know, Dan, the importance of a timeout. That timeout by Billy Donovan, getting into his players about execution, as Shannon talked about, has changed their team.
Boy, Randall is really getting after it on the inside. He draws the foul. Here's the Patrick Young play we were talking about from Tuesday. Watch 4 in blue. Diving, staying in bounds, and getting his team an extra possession late in a close game.
Unbelievable. That's how you win basketball games. That's how you win championships.
That's a great play.
Terrific.
Let's go to Shannon.
Yeah, Dan, I asked Patrick Young about that play. He said, you know what, I didn't even think, I just reacted. He told me at the beginning of the year, the trainer gave him a book, Relentless. It was written by Tim Grover, who's Michael Jordan's former trainer. That book has helped him with mental focus and trusting his instinct and being able to do stuff like that.
And you know what's really impressive about him? He's a genuine student athlete, academically outstanding.
Technical foul.
Oh, got a T.
John Calipari.
Oh, got a T. Write this down when he called it. Write it down when he called it. Michael Stevens with the call. Could be a turning point in the game, Dan. Could give them a lot of momentum. Game tied.
John Calipari's yelling at Michael Stevens right now. No way, no way. 2 free throws and the lead back to the Gators.
They were down 1, they're up 1. 8:14 on the clock when the T was called on Mr. Calipari. He's been working that sideline. I don't know what he's been saying, but he's been working that sideline. They got to regroup now and just play basketball. Forget about that call.
Good low position for Young, but he can't get the shot off. Prather switches hands and knocks it down.
Tell you one thing, he got the shot off. The veteran player with that drive down the lane.
What an improved player, as we mentioned. One of the biggest jumps in his ability, his numbers from last year to this year of any player in the country.
Look at them clapping their hands defensively, getting after it. Wilbekin taking the challenge now, trying to play Young, who's been on fire with 7 for 8. I think that timeout by Billy Donovan was a stroke of genius.
Randall. Knocked away. 3 to shoot. And a foul on Wilbekin. And it will be a shooting foul. 2 free throws for the Wildcats when we come back. Back it up. This nail biter continues. The Gators leading the Wildcats by 3. 7:22 to go as we take a look now at who's in the groove. Brought to you by new Cheez-It Grooves.
Tell you one thing, he's been in a groove right here, Mr. Wilbekin. There he is right now. Look at him using the ball screen. Now he spots it. He's going to change his direction, changes speeds, and lays it right on the glass. Now watch him defensively. He beats Young to the spot, knows, anticipates well. There's the steal, there's the field, communicates with the trailer, and they get a layup. Now I'm going to watch him up here, reads the defense. Defense backs up, he just steps back, and he drills the 3. He's got 16 points, and that doesn't even measure how successful and how good he has been for the Gators.
John Calipari tweeted out earlier today, and keep it in mind, he's got well over 1 million followers on Twitter, that at the 8-minute mark, coming out of the under 8 media timeout, which is where we are right now, he wants everybody here at Rupp Arena to stand and remain standing right up until the final buzzer.
Let me tell you this, Dan. Last year he did that here. Florida was leading in the last 7:36. You saw Ashley. The last 7:36 when they stood, Florida didn't score a point. Didn't score a point.
And Kentucky won the game. Young knocks down the first.
Young has been a difference maker. He and Randall have been really outstanding tonight. Both really rated very high by Chad Ford.
Young with 19 points.
He's got Randall number 5, I believe, and he's got Young up there in the top 15.
Frazier. Now Wilbekin.
They can't get any open looks for Frazier. Good base right there. Good stance by Willie Cauley-Stein.
In and out for Young. Offensive rebound. Finney-Smith.
Well, you got to box out. Willie Cauley-Stein never got his hand up on the shot.
And we've got a push against James Young. Second on Young. And the team's fifth.
You know, you get an opportunity like Kentucky to play a team like Florida on your floor, you better take advantage of it, because you're not going to get many opportunities to get big-time wins in the SEC. It has really been a downtime for a conference that's had a lot of great basketball. Mike Slive's trying to change things by getting the coaches to play stronger schedules pre-conference.
Young with a left hand.
Well, one thing, they're not going scoreless in the last 8 minutes tonight. He really wants it. You can look at his eyes. He and Wilbekin, those kids want a win. Yep. It's not about just playing for the SEC. They want to win on this floor.
Seniors who have never had a win on this floor.
It's special. You see that Kentucky jersey, it brings out the best out of people, too. Just like a Carolina, Duke uniform, Notre Dame in football, Yankees in baseball.
Aaron Harrison, number 2, scoreless in this game. 0 for 6, but no more. Right on cue, knocks down the corner 3.
He heard you, buddy. He heard Mr. Showman, man. He said, I'm going to show him I can score. That was a big momentum 3. We're going to calm this for Wilbekin.
Prather. And a foul.
This game could come down to the free throw line, making free throws. There's one Harrison to the other. Andrew to Aaron, and Aaron delivers. He came in with a reputation as a shooter.
Foul on Aaron Harrison. Subs getting ready to come in for both teams as Casey Prather heads to the line for Florida.
Foul line. Foul line's going to be big here down the stretch.
The most storied conference in college athletics lives on a new 24/7 network launching in August. Go to GetSECNetwork.com and demand the network from your TV provider today.
Tell you one thing, what they haven't done in basketball, they have unbelievably done in football.
You look at on the basketball side, Kentucky has won more SEC regular season championships than all of the other programs in the league combined.
See how they got a bar in their pants. 8 little boys indicates 8 championships on the uniform.
The most recent one 2 years ago.
Patience right now, execution, getting good shots, vital if you want to win in a game like this.
Johnson wanted it down on the post, didn't get it from Aaron Harrison. Shot clock is at 7.
John wants try to get some motion offensively.
Andrew Harrison launches from 24 feet away, and Wilbekin fouled.
That's another thing. Wilbekin, over the last few games, has been really going to the free throw line, getting double-digit points on the free throw line.
And that is the 7th foul on Kentucky, so that'll put Florida into the bonus.
I would give him one negative if I say part of his whole repertoire, Florida. A major negative. He went to the same high school as Joel Embiid in Gainesville. How did he let him get to Kansas?
Let's check in with Shannon.
Dan Dick, on Tuesday before the Tennessee game, Scotty Wilbekin told me that there were 2 games on his schedule this season that he wanted to win. Tennessee was one of them. He hadn't won at Thompson Bowling Arena since his freshman season, and this one because he's never won here. He had a career game on Tuesday night, and he has come alive in this game.
And Dick, Florida struggled early from the line. They've now made their last 10.
I firmly believe if they can win here, they can run the table in the SEC.
And if they do that, they're looking like a lock for a 1 seed in the NCAA tournament. Andrew Harrison shakes a defender and knocks down the 15-footer.
Nice play right there by Andrew. Make no doubt about it, Andrew and Aaron are going to be outstanding players at Kentucky. They should buy into what John Calipari's teaching and selling to them.
You get Got a size advantage on Harrison. Kicks it back out to Wilbekin. Cauley Stein got a piece.
Just a matter of time. Just a matter of time. The guy is a shooter.
Michael Frazier with his first points of the night.
Frazier with a little knockout punch right there. A little knockout punch, Mr. Frazier.
And the lead is 5 with 4:14 to go.
One thing about him, he can flat out shoot it. That's the block shot by Willie Cauley-Stein. But Florida keeps the ball alive. They get into the hands of their best three-point shooter, shooting 42%. Oh, he feels good because he bricked a few earlier in this game. Look at that. I mean, Young can play for me, man. Great attitude. Never have to worry about him academically. Terrific student.
Now talk to me at this point. 4:14 to go. Seniors on one side, freshmen on the others. Seniors who have won so many close games this year. Freshmen who at times down the stretch, their own coach has said that there has been anxiety and they have not existed as a unit as much as he would like at times in really tough stretches. At this point, is that a significant advantage for Florida, or are we deep enough into the season that it shouldn't be anymore, that the freshmen aren't really freshmen anymore?
It is an advantage because of the skill level and the winner's mentality of Florida. They are not intimidated or at all coming to play over here. They're playing with purpose. I mean, they were a little bit on the ropes. You saw that timeout. They regrouped. They battled back. But I'm telling you, they got a coach, Kentucky, that's going to keep scrapping and fighting and getting them to claw. They're not just going to back away.
Shot clock at 10. Aaron Harrison has it knocked away, gets it back, finds his brother. Now Young, who's had a big night. Long rebound, and it's Kentucky ball. Boy, Andrew Harrison almost looked like he was stepping in to take a charge instead of going after the ball. And Kentucky's a little fortunate to get that back.
You know, Willie Cauley-Stein a little frustrated inside, and I don't blame him. He's wide open on the box, and nobody even looks to get him a ball.
Harrison splits the double team and lays it in.
We're seeing some flashes of the brilliance he possesses. We got a good one, my friend. We got a good one. 22 in a row. They have won at home. Florida's won 16 in a row. Something has to give.
And Billy Donovan will use a timeout. 3:08 to go. Andrew Harrison with 18 points, Dick, in this game.
Really playing well. Look at him split the defense right there with a change of direction. And then he goes right down the lane. Hangs does a terrific job. Playing really well.
3-point lead for the Gators. Let's talk big picture for a second. This Florida team, you've seen Syracuse, you've seen Arizona, you've seen Duke, you've seen Kansas, so many of the top teams. Where does Florida rank in your mind right now?
You know, Dan, I think you got to take it and look at what they would do on a neutral floor. And the bottom line is this is an experienced Florida team. They could beat any of those clubs. I mean, right now, the team that I love, people will not agree with me. We have not seen them at full strength. Michigan State.
Agreed.
If Michigan State has Payne, Dawson, and Appling, that's a different club. And by the way, one other guy, there aren't many in this nation that could come here and sit where John Calipari's sitting. I'll give you a guy that could have done it. Tom Izzo.
On their feet, deafening noise here at Rupp Arena with just over 3 minutes to go.
And one other streak at stake. Florida has not won here in the last 6 trips to Rupp.
You got to go back to the second of the 2 consecutive national championship teams to find a Florida team that got out of here with a win. Wilbekin fouled on the jumper by Andrew Harrison. Wilbekin to the free throw line when we come back. And maybe, Dick, 40 minutes just wasn't enough to do justice to this game. Again inside, Ennis, Grant.
Can't have it. That's a total mismatch.
And it's Hood.
Oh, he tried to jam it for the win.
And Mike Krzyzewski saying he got fouled. Cook. And Syracuse wins it. If the rematch is half as fun as that game, it's going to be all kinds of fun. Journey to the Tourney, presented by Sonic. 1 week from tonight, 7 o'clock Eastern Time, Cameron Indoor Stadium, Syracuse and Duke.
You know, I've had the pleasure and honor of working for ESPN for 35 years, Dan. I told you that without a doubt was one of my 5 greatest games that I was ever part of. It was that special.
91-89 overtime win for the Orange. Here, Florida up 3, 2:54 to go.
Free throw line so big now, making easy. He's a kid I'd want on the line.
He has not missed one from the free throw line tonight.
He's played so well, defensively, offensively. He's a catalyst on the defensive end.
8 for 8 from the line. The lead is 5.
They only give up 57.9 points a game. And here it is, Kentucky with 57.
Aaron Harrison is fouled. Florida players saying it was a clean strip. But Harrison's heading to the free throw line.
I'll tell you, Harrison's doing a great job of attacking and attacking.
3rd on Young, and Aaron Harrison heads to the line, an 80% free throw shooter on the season.
You want to win basketball games, you got to do all the little things that Florida does and does well. That doesn't help you coming down the stretch. You're down 5 with 2:47 on the clock.
You know, John Calipari talks about it. The body language you just saw from Aaron. Missed a free throw, right? And you could see so visibly frustrated in how he reacted. And sometimes the young players will take that frustration back with him to the other end, or they'll make a mistake on the next play. That's what you don't see from the seniors from Florida. They weather that emotional storm and they just move on to the next play.
Yeah, and they're not bad kids. They're just kids that they expect perfection.
Yeah.
Yeah, they expect perfection.
And
because in high school, they got away with all that.
They're all used to being by far the best player in their high school program. Now they're having to blend in and they're playing against guys who are just as good as they are.
Or better. Look at Wilbekin, understanding how to play, looking for a screen up on top.
And Wilbekin heading back to the free throw line.
He does a great job spotting an opening and really attacking it off the bounce. Keeps the ball down low.
4th foul on Andrew Harrison.
He just made this happen. He saw a little opening and he created that foul opportunity and then converted. On the other end, you missed 2. He goes, he makes it. It's a 4-point tournament.
And pretty clever play there by Wilbekin, really creating the contact with his left arm, but selling it pretty well.
Experience, experience, experience. And most of all, winning experience. This is a special Florida team.
10 for 10 from the free throw line for Wilbekin.
I think the last 3 games has been in double digits on the free throw line. It's a big possession right now, Kentucky. These become must possessions and must score.
Andrew Harrison, tough shot.
Oh, he just willed that baby in. He willed it in.
Into the final 2 minutes. Andrew Harrison with 20. Florida with the ball in a 5-point lead.
Gonna take some time off that clock. Good spacing. Veteran basketball team, 16 in a row. We've got a good spacing.
Frazier can't get the shot off over the size of Aaron Harrison. Shot clock down into single digits. Wilbekin sees it.
Harrison's done a good job on Frazier.
Pull up. No. Rebound. And Prather is fouled in the middle of 4 Kentucky players. He comes up with a huge offensive rebound.
And there's no way that he should get that offensive rebound with the size of Willie Cauley-Stein, Randall, etc. in that lineup. And Young, no way. I mean, right now, that's a terrific offensive rebound. What a great job. A veteran, a rising star, a guy that last year struggled, had injuries. I think he scored like 3 points a game last year.
3 points a game over the first 3 years of his career, 6 points per game last year. The Gators have now made their last 15 free throws as a team, as Prather misses the second, but it's still a 6-point lead with 1:20 to go.
And that has been really big because they're one of the worst free throw shooting teams in the SEC.
Aaron Harrison nowhere to go, nearly turns it over. Young
Tell you one thing, they challenge you on shots. You don't get easy opportunities against Florida. And the other thing, whenever you play Florida, you're going to get their best hit. They're never going to be beaten because they didn't give a great effort.
I think John Calipari wants him to foul. It'll be Andrew Harrison who fouls Wilbekin, and that's the worst of all situations because Andrew's out of the game, and Wilbekin, who doesn't miss, is going back to the line.
Well, I think one streak's coming to an end tonight the way it looks right now. Kentucky in big, big trouble. And I really credit a timeout by Billy Donovan to regroup his team was very, very important. Former Kentucky star on that sideline, played for Rick Pitino, John Palfrey.
And again, you see not little plays, but a series of plays down the stretch. An offensive rebound, taking a good shot versus a bad shot. The right guy fouling the right person versus the wrong guy fouling the wrong person. Florida executing better in the closing minutes than Kentucky had.
Well, experience, solid experience, understanding how to play. You said it so well, Mr. Schulman, so well that I think that you're possible to do a one-man show. Analyze and do play-by-play. You don't need.
Are you serious? Well, I would never do that. Looking forward to a great week coming up in college basketball. The makeup game for the postponed Carolina-Duke game Thursday night, 9 Eastern here on ESPN. Saturday at 7, Duke hosting Syracuse. Big, big week.
Anytime Duke and Carolina plays, it is special.
Young with a nice look into the corner. They need it. They won't get it. Wilbekin the rebound. Precious seconds ticking away.
Florida in total command. There's explanation point right there. Go to the free throw line. They're going to get their thrill. They're warming up the bus, baby. They're warming up the bus in a positive way to get to that airport with a big, big W.
Casey Prather having a huge night. Wilbekin did as well. And you can see the dejection on the faces of the Wildcats. Andrew Harrison on the bench having fouled out. Kentucky looking for a win over a top 5 team, and they're not going to get it tonight against the Gators, who are going to match a school record with their 17th consecutive win.
Well, the thing is, you know, you look at their resume right now. Their resume has one legitimate, impressive win, and that is their neighbor, Louisville.
Kentucky, you're talking about.
Yeah, Kentucky.
And Florida, with the Arizona loss last night, they're likely to move up to number 2. And had Syracuse not pulled one out of the fire late against NC State, Florida might be number 1 come Monday.
It's better to go. What a job Billy Donovan has done with that program. Prior to him coming here, football, football, football. A lot of respect from these two guys. No doubt there's respect, admiration.
And the Florida Gators, as they file out of Rupp Arena here, the seniors will get this long-awaited win in Lexington, something that eluded them each of the last 3 years, and they win it going away. Prather with 24, Wilbekin with 23. Another learning opportunity for the young Wildcats, while the veteran Gators tie a program record with their 17th consecutive win.
Terrific performance, really. They met a challenge here. This place, I don't care, man. It is tough to win here. Just look at the record. Now John Calipari's 81-3 in his career as Florida goes to the list with Texas A&M and Baylor.
Shannon Spake is with Scotty Wilbekin.
Scotty, despite some of the offensive struggles you guys had a lot of this game, you guys were able to get this victory. How were you able to overcome those?
Defense, and we made buckets when we needed to, got to the foul line at some key situations, and we just stick together as a team.
This was a game of veteran players, senior players against freshmen. How valuable was this experience here tonight you guys have?
I think that's what pulled us over. 4 seniors, I mean, I love them. We stick together, and it's a team effort with all the young guys that we have. They've done a great job of stepping into their roles.
You told me on Tuesday that this game and the game at Tennessee on Tuesday were 2 that you wanted to win this season. What does this mean to you to get this done in 1 week?
I mean, it's big, but it's not the end of the season. So we got the next game coming up, and that's what we're focusing on now.
Thank you, Scotty.
Thank you.
Guys?
What a performance tonight by Scotty Wilbekin as he and Casey Prather lead the Gators to a 10-point win over Kentucky. Florida now 23-2 and still perfect in the SEC. More action comes your way. Big Monday, 7 Eastern to Carolina and Florida State. 9 Eastern, Oklahoma State and Baylor. Big Monday presented by Verizon. To both games also available live on Watch ESPN. The Cats fought and led for much of the night, but in the end, the experience, the poise, the teamwork of the Gators leads Florida to a 10-point win over Kentucky. 69-59, the final. For Dick Vitale and Shannon Spade, I'm Dan Shulman saying thanks for watching, and so long from Rupp Arena.